The silver ship moved through space like a silent fish through dark water. Commander Vexed H stood on the bridge, his forearms crossed behind his back. His purple skin gleamed under the soft lights of the control room. Today would be simple. Another planet to check. Another report to file. Nothing special. "Sir, we are close to the third planet," said Lieutenant Zixith. His voice came through the speaker with a soft buzz. All Calaxians spoke that way. Vexed walked to the main screen. The planet grew larger as they got closer. It was blue and green and white. Clouds moved across its surface like cotton balls. Water covered most of it. Green patches showed where plants grew. "Looks normal," Vexed H said. "Run the basic scans." Doctor. Yelendra worked at her station. Her 6 fingers moved fast across the controls. Numbers and colors filled her screen. She had done this many times before. Most planets were empty. Some had simple life. Very few had anything interesting. "Water everywhere," she said. "The air has oxygen and nitrogen. Temperature looks good. This might be a Class 7 garden world." That was good news. Garden worlds were rare. The Federation could use them for colonies or vacation spots. Vexith felt pleased. Finding a garden world would look good in his records. "Wait," Dr. Yelendra said. Her voice changed. "Something is wrong with these readings." "What do you mean?" Vexed H asked. "The magnetic field is too strong. Much too strong. It should kill most life forms." She touched more controls. "And look." At this, the planet's crust is moving. There are places where the ground breaks open and hot rock comes out. "Volcanoes," said Zixith. "That makes it dangerous." Dr. Yelendra kept working. "The weather patterns are horrible. Huge storms that spin around. Wind that moves faster than our shuttle. Water that falls from the sky like bullets." Vexed H frowned. His skin turned darker purple. "So it is not a garden world?" "No, sir. Based on these readings, this is a hell world. Maybe Class 12 or 13. Nothing should be able to live here. But the scans show life," Zixith said. "Lots of it." Double quotes Dr. Yelendra checked her readings again. "Yes. Plants and animals everywhere. And ... oh no." "What now?" Vexed H asked. "There are intelligence signals coming from the surface. Radio waves. Someone is down there." The bridge went quiet. Everyone stopped working and looked at the screen. The pretty blue planet suddenly seemed different. It looked dangerous now, like a beautiful flower that could kill you if you touched. "It's poor creatures," Vexith said softly. "They must be prisoners. Someone left them on this hell world to die." Dr. Yelendra listened to the radio signals. "The signals are organized. Complex. These beings have technology. Maybe they built shelters," Zixith suggested. "Deep underground where it is safe. We should help them," Vexed H decided. "Contact the surface. Tell them we are here to rescue them." The next few hours were busy. The communications team worked to understand the signals from below. The beings called themselves humans. They seemed to live all over the planet. Not just in one safe place, but everywhere. "Sir," Zixith said, "I think there is a mistake. These humans ... They do not sound like prisoners." "What do you mean?" "They are asking us questions. About where we come from. What we want. They do not sound scared or desperate. They sound ... curious." Vexth looked at the planet again. Maybe they have been there so long they have given up. Hope of rescue. Dr. Yelendra finished her full scan of the planet. Her face was pale. "Commander, you need to see this. The readings are getting worse." "How much worse?" "This planet is definitely a Class 13 hell world. The most dangerous type we know. The radiation alone should kill any life in days. The temperature changes would freeze and cook anything that tried to live there. The storms are like nothing I have ever seen. But there is life. Millions of different species. And these humans are everywhere. Cities on every continent. They have built things that reach high into the sky. They have vehicles that move across the land and water and air. Vexed H sat down in his command chair. This made no sense. No intelligent species could survive on a Class 13 Hellworld. It was impossible. Maybe our equipment is broken, he said. I checked it 3 times, Dr. Yulandra replied. Everything works fine. Sir, Zixith interrupted, the humans are responding to our messages. They want to talk to us. Put them through. A new voice filled the bridge. It sounded different from any species they knew. Stronger somehow. Hello there. This is President Lisa Carter speaking for Earth. We welcome you to our solar system. Greetings. Vexed H said, I am Commander Vexed H of the Galactic Federation ship Zephyr's Grace. We are here to help you. Help us with what? We know you are trapped on that dangerous world. We can take you to a safe planet where you can live properly. There was a long pause. Then the human laughed. It was a strange sound. Happy but strong. Trapped? Commander, this is our home. We are not trapped here. We live here because we want to. Vexith looked at his crew. They all had the same confused expression. But the planet is a Class 13 Hellworld, Vexed H said. Nothing can live there safely. Well, President Carter said, we seem to be doing just fine. Would you like to visit? We would be happy to show you around. The communication ended. The bridge was silent again. Vexed stared at the planet below. Somewhere down there, intelligent beings were living on the most dangerous type of world in the galaxy, and they had just invited him to visit. Sir, Dr. Yulandra said quietly, what do we do now? Vexed thought for a long moment. Everything? He knew about life and planets told him this was impossible. But the evidence was right in front of him. Prepare a landing party, he said. We are going down to see for ourselves. Dr. Yulandra checked her environmental suit for the 10th time. A thick armor covered her from head to toe. Air tanks, radiation shields, temperature controls, and emergency medical systems all hummed quietly around her body. Even with all this protection, going to the surface was dangerous. Are you sure about this? Asked Marine Kethmer. His suit was even bigger than hers. Black metal plates covered his massive frame. Weapons hung from his belt, though he hoped not to use them. No, Dr. Yulandra replied, but we need to see what is down there. Their shuttle flew through the planet's atmosphere. The readings on their screens made no sense. The air was thick with nitrogen and oxygen. Both gases were dangerous to most species. The pressure was crushing. The radiation levels made their alarms beep constantly. Landing sight ahead, the pilot announced. The humans said to meet them at a place called Colorado Springs. Through the shuttle window, they could see a wide flat area surrounded by huge rock formations that reached toward the sky. Mountains, the humans called them. Snow covered their tops. That meant the water was so cold it turned solid. How could anything live here? The shuttle landed with a soft thud. Dr. Yulandra and Kethmer walked to the door. Both were nervous. Outside was a world that should kill them in minutes, even with their protective suits. The door opened. Fresh air rushed in. Their suits immediately started working harder to keep them safe. Alarms beeped warnings about the hostile environment. 2 figures waited outside. They were tall and thin, standing on 2 legs. No fur or scales or protective shells. Just soft pink skin covered by thin fabric. They had no breathing equipment, no radiation shields, no environmental suits at all. Welcome to Earth, said one of them. I am Dr. Amy Rodriguez. This is Lieutenant Colonel Jake Morrison. Dr. Yulandra stared. These beings were standing in the open air of a hellworld, breathing poison, and they looked completely normal. Happy, even. "Are you not in pain?" she asked through her suit's speaker. "Pain? Why would we be in pain?" Dr. Rodriguez smiled. "It is a beautiful day. Maybe a little chilly, but nice." "Chilly?" Dr. Yulandra checked her readings. The temperature was cold enough to freeze most liquids. The humans called this chilly. "Would you like to see our facility?" Jake Morrison asked. "We have a research center nearby." They walked across the ground. Dr. Yulandra's heavy boots made deep prints in the dirt. The humans moved easily, their feet barely making marks. They talked as they walked, pointing at different things. "Those are the Rocky Mountains," Dr. Rodriguez explained. "People come here to climb them for fun." "Fun?" Kethmer spoke for the first time. "They climb those rocks for fun?" "Sure. It is good exercise." Great views from the top. Dr. Yulandra looked at the mountains. They were tall and steep and covered with snow. Climbing them would be like climbing the outside of a starship while it was flying through a radiation storm. "Here we are," Jake said. The research center looked like a simple building. No radiation shielding, no atmospheric processors, no emergency shelters. Just walls and windows and a door. Through the windows, they could see more humans walking around. Inside, none of them wore protective equipment. "Please come in," Dr. Rodriguez said. Inside, the building felt warm and comfortable. Humans sat at desks, working on computers. Others stood around talking. Everyone looked healthy and relaxed. "Can I offer you something to drink?" Dr. Rodriguez asked. "Water? Coffee? You want us to consume local materials?" Dr. Yulandra was shocked. "We cannot remove our helmets. The atmosphere is toxic." "Toxic? What do you mean?" "Your air has too much oxygen. It would burn our lungs, and the pressure would crush us." Dr. Rodriguez looked confused. "But this is normal air. We breathe it every day." Jake Morrison walked to a window. "Look out there. See those people?" Through the window, they could see humans walking outside. Some were running. A few were playing some kind of game with a ball. Children ran around laughing. "Those people are outside with no protection," Jake said. "They do this every day." "But how?" Kethmer asked. "Our scans show this world is extremely dangerous." "Well," Dr. Rodriguez said, "we have lived here for thousands of years. This is home." Dr. Yulandra tried to understand. "You mean your species evolved here? On this hell world?" "Hellworld?" Jake laughed. "Earth is not a hell world. It is paradise." Before anyone could respond, the sky outside grew dark. Wind began to blow. Dr. Yulandra's suit immediately started screaming warnings. "Emergency atmospheric disturbance," her computer announced. "Seek shelter immediately." "Oh, looks like rain," Dr. Rodriguez said casually. "Rain." Dr. Yulandra checked her readings. Massive electrical discharges were building in the atmosphere. The pressure was dropping rapidly. Wind speeds were increasing to dangerous levels. "You must get to your emergency shelter," she said urgently. "There is a severe storm coming." "Storm?" Jake looked outside. "This is just a little thunder shower." Lightning flashed across the sky. The electrical discharge was powerful enough to damage their shuttle. Thunder crashed with enough force to shake the building. Rain began falling like liquid bullets. Dr. Yulandra expected the humans to panic. Instead, they pulled out small collapsible devices. "Umbrellas," Dr. Rodriguez explained. "To keep the rain off. You are going outside in this?" Kethmer could not believe it. "Sure, we need to get back to our vehicles." The humans opened the door and walked outside into the deadly storm. They held their umbrellas over their heads and walked calmly through the lightning and rain. Some of them were even smiling. Dr. Yulandra and Kethmer followed, their suits, working frantically to protect them. The storm was terrifying. Lightning struck the ground nearby, leaving smoking holes. The rain was so hard, it sounded like bullets hitting their armor. The humans acted like nothing was happening. "Nice weather we have been having," Jake said as they walked. "The mountains needed this rain." "Critical suit failure imminent," Dr. Yelandra's computer warned. "Evacuate to SAFE location." "We need to return to our shuttle," she said through the radio. "Of course," Dr. Rodriguez replied. "It was nice meeting you. Come back any time." They ran back to their shuttle as fast as they could. The storm followed them, throwing lightning and wind and rain like weapons. By the time they got inside, both aliens were shaking. "Get us back to the ship," Kethmer ordered the pilot. "Now." As they flew up through the atmosphere, Dr. Yelandra looked back at the surface. Through the storm, she could see lights from human cities. Millions of beings were down there, living their normal lives on the most dangerous planet she had ever seen. "Commander," she said over the radio, "we need to talk." Back on the ship, Dr. Yelandra and Kethmer sat in the medical bay. The doctor was checking them for radiation damage and other injuries from their brief time on the surface. "Report," Commander Vexed H said. "Sir," Dr. Yelandra began, "the humans are not prisoners. They are not trapped. They live on that planet. By choice. That is impossible. I saw it myself. They walk around with no protection. They breathe the air. They drink the water. They even go outside during electrical storms. Maybe they are a different type of life form," Vexed H suggested. "Something we have never seen before." Kethmer shook his head. "They are definitely organic, carbon-based, similar to us in many ways, but they are impossibly tough." "How tough?" "Doctor." Yelendra checked her notes. "They live in temperatures that would kill most species. They consume plants and animals that our scanners identify as toxic. They participate in recreational activities that we would consider survival training." "Recreational activities?" "They climb mountains for fun, Commander. Mountains covered in snow and ice with no safety equipment. They jump out of aircraft with only a piece of fabric to slow their fall. They swim in water so cold it would freeze. Our blood." Commander Vexed H was quiet for a long time. Finally, he spoke. "Are you telling me we have discovered a species that evolved to thrive on a Class 13 Hellworld?" "Yes, sir." "That is exactly what I am telling you." Commander Vexith could not sleep. The report from Dr. Yelandra made no sense. No species could live on a Class 13 Hellworld. It was against every law of biology he knew. But the evidence was right there on his desk. "We need more information," he decided. "Chief Science Officer Nexara, I want a full planetary survey. Monitor human settlements everywhere." Nexara was the best scientist on the ship. If anyone could figure out this mystery, it was her. She set up observation posts around the planet. Each one watched a different part of the human world. The first report came from the northern regions, a place called Alaska. "Commander," Nexara said over the communication system, "you need to see this." On the main screen, they watched humans working outside in a frozen landscape. Snow covered everything. The temperature readings showed numbers that made Vexith's skin turn pale purple. "How cold is it there?" he asked. "Cold enough to instantly freeze Calaxian blood," Nexara replied. "But look at them. The humans were building something. A house, it looked like. They wore thick clothing, but their faces were uncovered. They breathed the freezing air like it was normal. Some of them were even laughing." "This is Dr. Karen White," came a voice from the surface. The humans had agreed to talk with him during the observation. "We are building a new research station here." "Are you not cold?" Nexara asked. "A little chilly, but not too bad. This is normal winter weather for Alaska." Normal? Vexith checked the readings again. The temperature was low enough to shut down their ship's engines. How do you survive? He asked. We dress warmly and stay active. The kids love playing in the snow. Kids? Children were outside in this frozen wasteland? Through the cameras, they could see small humans running around, throwing balls of snow at each other. They were playing games in conditions that would kill most adult aliens. The next report came from a hot region, a place called Death Valley. Temperature readings are off the scale, Nexara announced. Hot enough to melt most metals we use in construction. On screen, they saw humans working in the blazing heat. No protective suits, no cooling systems. Just clothing and hats to block the sun. One of them was operating heavy machinery. This is Tony Martinez, the human said when they contacted him. We are building new homes here. How can you work in such heat? Nexara asked. You drink lots of water and take breaks in the shade. Been doing construction in the desert for 20 years. You get used to it. Get used to it? The heat readings showed temperatures that would cook most life forms. This human had been working in it for 20 years? Sir, said Lieutenant Zixith, we are getting reports from Observation Post 7. You should see this immediately. The new images showed a human vehicle driving directly toward a massive spinning storm. The storm was a tornado, Dr. Yulandra explained. A column of rotating wind that could tear apart buildings. That human is in great danger, Vexith said. We should warn them. Wait, Exara said. Listen to their radio transmission. This is Dr. Rachel Green, came an excited voice. I am getting great data on this tornado. Wind speeds are incredible. This is so much fun. Fun? The human was driving toward a deadly atmospheric disturbance for fun? Dr. Green, Nexara called over the radio. You need to turn around. That storm will destroy your vehicle. Oh, hi there. Aliens, do not worry about me. I have been chasing storms for 15 years. This is what I do for a living. Science is awesome. They watched in horror as the small human vehicle got closer and closer to the tornado. The wind should have picked it up and thrown it like a toy. Instead, Dr. Green drove right up to the edge of the storm, took measurements, and then calmly drove away. She does this for a living? Vex whispered. Gets worse, sir, Zixith reported. Observation Post 12 is tracking a human vessel that just sailed into the middle of a hurricane. The hurricane was even bigger than the tornado. A massive storm system that covered hundreds of kilometers. Winds strong enough to destroy cities. Waves tall enough to sink most ships. Right in the middle of it was a small human boat. This is Captain Steve Hudson, came a calm voice over the radio. We are collecting data on wave patterns during extreme weather events. Captain Hudson, Nexara said urgently, you must leave that area immediately. The storm will kill you. Kill me? Ma'am, I have been sailing through storms like this for 30 years. This is just another day at the office. The ocean is beautiful. When it shows its power, beautiful? The human thought this deadly storm was beautiful. Over the next several days, the reports kept coming. Humans living and working in every impossible place on their planet. They had cities built on the edges of active volcanoes. They had settlements in places where the ground shook constantly from earthquakes. They had farms in areas with radiation, levels that would sterilize most worlds. But the worst discovery came when they learned about human recreational activities. Commander, Dr. Yelandra said, her voice weak with shock, I have been monitoring their entertainment networks. You need to see what humans do for fun. The screen showed humans jumping off tall cliffs with nothing but fabric wings strapped to their backs. Others were climbing straight up the faces of mountains, using only their hands and feet. Some were diving deep underwater with no breathing equipment. This one is called bungee jumping. Dr. Yelandra explained. They tie a rope to their feet and throw themselves off bridges. Why? Vexith asked. For excitement, for the thrill of almost dying. The evidence was overwhelming. Humans did not just survive on their hell world. They had turned survival into entertainment. They created new ways to put themselves in danger, just for fun. Sir, Nexara reported, I have finished analyzing all the data. The humans are not just living on a Class 13 hell world. They are thriving on it. Explain. They have spread to every continent on the planet, even the frozen ones and the burning ones. They live in places no other known species could even visit with full protection. And they seem to enjoy the challenge. Vexith looked at the planet on his screen. From space, it looked so beautiful and peaceful. But now he knew the truth. It was the most dangerous place in the galaxy, and the most amazing species they had ever found called it home. Nexara, he said slowly, what does this mean for everything we thought we knew about life in the universe? Sir, I think it means we need to rewrite the textbooks. Contact the Federation Council, Vexed H ordered. Tell them we have discovered something impossible. A species that does not just survive on a hell world, but has mastered it so completely that they use surviving it as entertainment. Sir, Zixith interrupted. Incoming transmission from the surface. President Carter wants to speak with you again. Put her through. Commander Vexed H, came the familiar human voice. We have been watching your observation activities. We hope you are learning interesting things about Earth. President Carter, I must ask you something. Are all humans as tough as the ones we have observed? Tough? I suppose we are pretty adaptable. We have to be living on Earth. Why do you? Ask. Your planet is the most dangerous world we have ever studied. How do you stand it? There was a pause. Then President Carter laughed that strange human laugh. Dangerous? Commander, Earth is not dangerous. Earth is home. Sure, it can be challenging sometimes, but that is what makes life interesting. Besides, if we can handle Earth, we can handle anything the universe throws at us. Those words sent a chill through every alien on the ship. If humans could handle anything the universe could throw at them, what did that make them? The answer was becoming clear. It made them the toughest species in the galaxy. The message from the Zephyr's Grace caused panic at Federation, headquarters on Nexus Prime. High Counselor Val Miran read the report 3 times before calling an emergency meeting. The council chamber filled with the galaxy's best scientists and planetary experts. This must be a mistake, said Dr. Morthick, the Federation's top expert on hostile worlds. No intelligent species can live on a Class 13 hell world. It is impossible. The data has been checked multiple times, Val Miran replied. Commander Vexed H is one of our most reliable officers. If he says humans are thriving on a hell world, we must consider it. Dr. Morthick looked at the readings on his screen. Temperature extremes that would kill most species. Radiation levels that would sterilize entire star systems. Atmospheric pressure that would crush normal life forms. Weather patterns that resembled military weapons. According to this data, he said slowly, Earth is not just a Class 13 hell world. It might be the most dangerous planet we have ever found. But intelligent life is there, another scientist pointed out. Not just surviving, but building a technological civilization. The debate went on for hours. Some scientists insisted the data was wrong. Others suggested the humans might be machines or energy beings disguised as organic life. A few wondered if this was some kind of test by an advanced civilization. We need more information, Val Miran decided. Contact the survey. Ship, tell them to send us everything they have learned about these humans. Over the next few days, reports poured in from the Zephyr's Grace. Videos of humans living in impossible conditions. Audio recordings of them laughing while doing things that should terrify any sane being. Data showing that they had built cities. In places that should be empty WASTELANDS. The breaking point came when they received footage of human space activities. They do what? Dr. Morthick asked. They strapped themselves to controlled explosions and launched themselves off the planet, the communication officer repeated. They call it their space program. On the screen, they watched a human rocket blast off from Earth's surface. Fire and smoke erupted from the bottom as it climbed into the sky. Inside that metal tube were living beings, riding the explosion like it was a normal form of transportation. Commander Lisa Adams speaking, came a voice from the video. We are on our way to the International Space Station. Beautiful day for a launch? Beautiful day? They were sitting on top of enough explosive power to level a city, and they called it beautiful? How many times have they done this? Velmiron asked. Thousands of times, sir. They have been launching themselves into space for decades. They have built a permanent station in orbit. Some humans live there for months at a time. Live in space? Voluntarily? Yes, sir. They say it is fun. Dr. Morthick sat down heavily in his chair. We are dealing with a species that considers riding explosions into space to be fun. What kind of beings are these? The answer came from an unexpected source. The humans themselves had sent a diplomatic message to the Federation Council. Greetings from Earth, said Ambassador Kate Reynolds. We understand you have been studying our world. We would like to invite you to visit our capital city for formal first contact negotiations. Their capital city, Velmiron mused. Where is it located? The navigation officer checked the coordinates. According to their message, it is in a place called Washington, D.C. The location appears to be, oh my. What? Sir, their capital city is built in a swamp. In a region with extreme temperature variations, frequent severe storms, and high humidity levels that would be toxic to most species. Of course it was. These humans had built their seat of government in another location that should be uninhabitable. Accept their invitation, Velmiron decided, but send our best diplomatic team with full environmental protection. 3 days later, Ambassador Kate Reynolds stood in the Federation Council chamber on Nexus Prime. She wore a simple blue suit and carried a small briefcase. No environmental protection, no breathing apparatus, no radiation shielding. Thank you for inviting me to your beautiful space station, she said with a smile. I hope you do not mind that I'm not wearing a protective suit. The council members stared at her. The atmosphere in their chamber was carefully controlled to support the widest range of species possible. It was toxic to most pure oxygen breathers and would kill most carbon-based life forms within minutes. Kate Reynolds breathed it like it was fresh air. How are you doing that? Dr. Morthick whispered. Doing what? Kate asked. Breathing our atmosphere. Surviving in our environment. Are you wearing some kind of invisible protection? Kate looked confused. No, I am just breathing normally. Your air is a little thin, but not too bad. Reminds me of high altitude back home. High altitude. She was comparing their carefully controlled life support system to high altitude on her Hellworld. Ambassador Reynolds, Velmiron began carefully, we need to understand something. Our analysis shows that your planet is extremely dangerous. How do your people survive there? Kate sat down in the provided chair. It was designed for multiple species and could adjust to different body types. She made herself comfortable like she was visiting a friend's house. Dangerous? I suppose Earth can be challenging, but that is what makes us strong. We adapt to whatever conditions we face, but the radiation alone should kill you. We have developed ways to protect ourselves when needed, but most of the time, Earth's natural radiation is not a problem. We actually use it to generate power. Use it to generate power? They were using deadly radiation as an energy source? What about the extreme weather? Dr. Morthick asked. Weather is just weather. You dress appropriately and plan ahead. Sometimes storms can be dangerous, but we have warning systems and shelters. Most of the time, weather is just part of the daily routine. She was talking about Hellworld conditions, like they were minor inconveniences. Ambassador, Valmiron said, our scientists classify your world as a Class 13 Hellworld, the most dangerous type of planet we know. Yet you speak of it as if it were a garden world. Kate smiled. Maybe the problem is with your classification system. Earth is not a Hellworld. Earth is the world that made us who we are. It taught us to be strong, to be adaptable, to never give up. But surely you would prefer to live somewhere safer? Why would we want that? Earth is perfect for us. Besides, if we can thrive on Earth, we can thrive anywhere. That makes us very good at exploring new places. The implications of her words hit everyone at the same time. If humans could thrive on a Class 13 Hellworld, they could colonize planets that other species could not even visit. They could explore regions of space that were considered too dangerous for normal life. Ambassador Reynolds, Valmiron said slowly, what would your people say to joining the Galactic Federation? Kate's smile grew wider. We would be honored. But we should probably tell you something first. What? We have already started exploring some of the uninhabited systems near our solar system. We found a few planets that might be suitable for human colonies. Dr. Morthick pulled up a star chart. Which systems? Kate pointed to several locations on the map. Each one made the scientists gasp in horror. Those are restricted zones, Doctor. Morthick said. No ship has ever returned from those systems. They are considered too dangerous to explore. Really? Kate looked surprised. We found them quite interesting. A bit challenging, but nothing we could not handle. We are planning to send colony ships there next year. The council chamber fell silent. These humans were not just surviving on a Hellworld. They were looking for more Hellworlds to colonize. Ambassador, Valmiron said finally, I think we need to completely revise our understanding of what makes a planet habitable. That might be a good idea, Kate agreed. After all, one being's Hellworld is another being's home. As the meeting ended, Dr. Morthick approached Valmiron privately. Sir, we need to create a new classification system. These humans have changed everything we thought we knew about planetary habitability. What do you suggest? I suggest we create a new category, Class H, for worlds that produce beings like humans. Worlds that do not just allow life, but forge it into something incredibly strong. Valmiron nodded. And Earth? Earth gets the first Class H designation. It is not a Hellworld. It is a forge world, a place where the universe creates its toughest children. Outside the chamber, Ambassador, Kate Reynolds looked out at the stars through the station's massive windows. Earth was too far away to see, but she knew it was out there. Home. Beautiful, challenging, dangerous, perfect home. She smiled, thinking about what the Federation did not yet understand. Humans were not just tough because they survived on a difficult world. They were tough because they loved their difficult world. And that love made them ready for anything the universe could offer. 6 months had passed since first contact with Earth. The galaxy was different now. Everything the Federation thought they knew about life and planets had changed. Planets that were once marked as uninhabitable were being studied again with new eyes. Commander Vexed H stood on the bridge of the Zephyr's Grace as it approached Earth for the 3rd time. But this time, he was not coming to rescue anyone. This time, he was coming to ask for help. Sir, Earth traffic control is guiding us to the orbital station, Lieutenant Zixith reported. Through the main screen, they could see humanity's space station. It was bigger now than when they first visited. New sections had been added. Ships came and went regularly. The humans had been busy. "Welcome back, Commander," came the familiar voice of President Lisa Carter. "We are glad to see you." "Again, thank you, President Carter. We need to speak with your people about a serious matter." "Of course." "Ambassador Kate Reynolds is waiting for you at the station." Dr. Yolandra watched the human station grow larger as they approached. She had been studying human technology and biology for months. Every day brought new surprises about what these incredible beings could do. "Dr. Vexed H said, have you finished your analysis of human capabilities?" "Yes, sir." "The results are remarkable. Humans are not just tough. They are the most adaptable species we have ever encountered. They can survive in environments that would kill any other known life form." "How adaptable?" "Sir, I have watched humans train for missions to other worlds. They can modify their behavior and equipment to handle almost any conditions. Cold, heat, radiation, low pressure, high pressure, toxic atmospheres. They find ways to deal with everything." The docking was smooth. Human engineers had learned to build equipment that worked with many different alien ship designs. When the airlock opened, Ambassador Kate Reynolds was waiting with a smile. "Commander Vexed H, Dr. Yolandra, welcome back to Earth space. I hope your journey was pleasant." "Thank you, Ambassador. We need to discuss something urgent with your leadership." "Of course, follow me." The station was impressive. Humans worked alongside aliens from several different species. Everyone seemed comfortable and happy. The humans had somehow created an environment where multiple types of beings could live and work together. In the meeting room, Kate sat down across from the alien delegation. "What can we do for you?" 3 days ago, Vexed H began, we received a distress call from the edge of our territory. A Federation colony ship crashed on a planet called Zarion 7. 50,000 colonists are trapped there. That sounds terrible. How can we help? Zarion 7 is a Class 12 hellworld. Constant storms, toxic atmosphere, deadly radiation, unstable ground. Every rescue mission we have sent has failed. The ships cannot even get close to the surface." Kate frowned. "How long do the colonists have? Their emergency shelters will fail within days." After that... Vexed H could not finish the sentence. "I see. And you think humans might be able to help because we live on a hell world?" "Ambassador, your people are the only ones we know who might be able to survive on a planet like Zarion 7. We are asking if you would consider a rescue mission." Kate was quiet for a moment. Then she stood up. "Excuse me for a few minutes. I need to make some calls." She left the room. Through the windows, they could see her talking urgently with other humans. More people joined the conversation. Soon, there was a crowd of humans discussing something important. Kate returned with a group of humans wearing different uniforms. "Commander, I would like you to meet Captain Alex Morgan of the Earth Rescue Fleet, Marine Sergeant Rick Thompson, and Dr. Beth Connor, our expert on extreme environment survival." "Rescue Fleet?" Dr. Yolandra asked. "We formed it after joining the Federation," Captain Morgan explained. "We figured our experience living on Earth might be useful for helping people in dangerous situations." "How quickly can you mount a rescue operation?" Vexed H asked. "Our ships are already prepared," Captain Morgan replied. "We can launch within 6 hours?" 6 hours? The Federation's fastest response teams needed days to prepare for a normal rescue mission. "Captain," Dr. Yolandra said, "you understand that Zarion 7 is extremely dangerous? The conditions there are worse than most of your planet." Sergeant Thompson laughed. "Ma'am, with respect, worse than Earth? We have trained for missions like this our whole lives." Dr. Connor stepped forward. "We have been studying the data on Zarion 7. Yes, it is challenging. but we have equipment and techniques specifically designed for Hellworld conditions. What kind of equipment? Vexed H asked. Simple, reliable gear that works in extreme conditions. No complex technology that might fail when you need it most. We learned a long time ago that the best survival equipment is gear that cannot break. Within hours, the human rescue fleet was ready to launch. 3 ships, each one designed to operate in conditions that would destroy most Federation vessels. The crews were calm and confident, like they were going on a routine mission. "This is Captain Morgan," came the voice over the communication system. "We are approaching Zarian 7. Conditions look rough, but nothing we cannot handle." The Federation. Ships stayed in orbit while the human vessels descended through the planet's violent atmosphere. Storms raged across the surface. Lightning flashed constantly. The wind was strong enough to tear apart buildings. "Morgan to base," the radio crackled. "We are on the surface. Setting up rescue operations now." "How is it down there?" Vexed H asked. Bit windy, but not too bad. Reminds me of hurricane season back in Florida." Hurricane season? They were comparing a Hellworld storm to normal weather on Earth? Over the next 12 hours, the humans worked steadily to rescue the trapped colonists. They built temporary shelters that could withstand the planet's brutal conditions. They established safe corridors through the storms. They even set up medical stations to treat injured survivors. "This is incredible," Dr. Yelandra whispered as she watched the rescue operation. "They are not just surviving down there. They are thriving." The final transmission came 18 hours after landing. "Mission complete," Captain Morgan reported. "All 50,000 colonists have been evacuated safely. We also established a permanent base camp in case anyone else crashes here in Neo." "Future, you built a permanent base?" Vexed H could not believe it. "Sure, nice little spot we found in a valley. Good protection from the storms. Great view of the mountains. Some of our people are already talking about setting up a research station here." A research station? On a planet so dangerous that the Federation had marked it as completely uninhabitable. When the rescue fleet returned to Earth space, they were greeted as heroes. But the humans seemed surprised by all the attention. "We just did what needed to be done," Captain Morgan said. "Anyone would have done the same." "No," Vexed H replied. "Anyone else would have died trying. You succeeded because you are humans." In the weeks that followed, everything changed. The Federation created new rescue protocols based on human techniques. Planets that had been written off as uninhabitable were reopened for study. The definition of Hellworld was revised to challenging environment with potential for human colonization. Dr. Yelandra published a paper that became required reading at every Federation academy. The Human Factor, How Earth-Evolved Beings Redefine Survival, changed how the galaxy thought about life and adaptation. "The key insight," she explained, "to a gathering of scientists is that humans do not just survive difficult conditions. They use difficult conditions to become stronger. Every challenge their planet gave them, they turned into an advantage." Commander Vext was promoted to Admiral and given command of the new Federation Extreme Environment Division. His first action was to request human advisors for every dangerous mission. "If we are going to explore the most challenging parts of the galaxy," he said, "we need the beings who call challenge their home." Ambassador Kate Reynolds established the Earth Integration Program, helping other species learn human survival techniques. The program was so popular that there was a waiting list of worlds wanting to send students to Earth. "We are not trying to make everyone as tough as humans," she explained. "We are sharing what we learned from living on a world that never let us get soft." The most dramatic change came when the Federation Council voted to create the new planetary classification system. Class H worlds were now officially recognized as human-compatible extreme environments. Earth received the first-class H designation, but it was not alone for long. Human colony ships launched to a dozen worlds that other species considered uninhabitable. Each new colony sent back reports of successful settlements in impossible places. This is colony leader Lisa Adams reporting from New Montana. Came one transmission. The radiation storms here are beautiful. Perfect weather for our solar collectors. Perfect weather. Radiation storms were perfect weather. 5 years after first contact, the galaxy was a different place. Humans had become the go-to species for any mission involving dangerous conditions. They served as rescue specialists, exploration teams, and survival instructors throughout Federation space. But perhaps the most important change was in how everyone thought about challenges. Before we met humans, Admiral Vexif said at a Federation conference, we saw dangerous worlds as obstacles to avoid. Humans taught us to see them as opportunities to grow stronger. Dr. Yilandra nodded in agreement. Humans did not just